Infinite ammo crates can be opened by hitting them with the crowbar. But by looking in code, you can see how this really works. You just have to hurt the object while holding the crowbar. That means you can do this. You can even do this with things that occupy your hands, as long as the crowbar was the last weapon that you had out before your hands got occupied.
I'm gonna head back to the security station and try to patch into your suit radio.
When Alyx says that, she means it. She actually does travel all the way back to that security station, even though there's no way for the player to see that happening.
Hey, it worked. Let's see what I can do to clear the way for you.
Crossbow shots can go through certain things, like fences. When impaling something, they will still try to go through fences, but this will cause the ragdoll to freak out. In the last map of Water Hazard, if you go into this building without killing the helicopter, it can do some weird stuff. If you're patient, you can take a manhack into Black Mesa East.
Something. Okay, it's human. Hello?
At one point not too long ago, speedrunners were considering doing this because this would allow you to kill Mossmen, which apparently would somehow let the level go by faster.
We could certainly use the extra help in that.
You can get on and off of ladders through objects. The airboat has a working headlight. For whatever reason, the headlights on the buggy don't work. Neither do the ones on the car in episode 2. This single pipe in the Citadel rotates very slowly. The only way to notice the rotation is if you sit long enough on the Citadel background map. If you're familiar with how Source Engine maps work, you know that this could not have been an accident. So why would they do it? Some objects which are considered fleshy cannot be picked up with the gravity gun. In this spot, there are two invisible walls that only NPCs can collide with. On its own, that's not very interesting, but you can put turrets on these walls. If you enter a vehicle while its driver's seat is inside a level transition trigger, the camera will become bugged.
Medical attention.
If you get into a vehicle the moment you enter a new map, the camera will shift into the vehicle using the old set of coordinates that you had on the previous map. Allied characters have special lines related to Gordon dying. You usually can't hear these lines because they're buried in the sounds of combat.
Oh no! Oh no! Look out! Look out!
Now what? And things were going so well. Don't tell me. Oh God. Oh no! Please no! If you dare say, that's gotta hurt, I'll kill you. Should we bury him here? I had a feeling even he couldn't help us. Spread the word. What's the use? What's the point? Why go on? We're done for. Well, now what? Dibs on the suit. Wait a second, that's not Gordon Freeman. He's done this before. He'll be okay. I'm gonna be sick. Somebody take his crowbar.
He's dead. What a way to go. Oh my God. It's Freeman! Oh my God, it's Freeman! Freeman is dead? That's not Freeman, is it? This can't be. Look, he's dead! He came a long way from Black Mesa. This is bad. I thought he was invincible. So much for Dr. Freeman. So much for our last hope. It's not supposed to end like this. Dr. Freeman, can you hear me? Do not go into the light. What now? Any last words, Doc?
Well, brother, if I survive this night, I shall build you an honest pyre. Oh, light of lights, why have you taken my helper? So, again I am alone. Well, brother, you have found another egress from the house of chaos. Rest now, brother, for you will surely live again. Rise, brother, rise. Live again, brother.
Barney does not care. Fast zombies can climb down instead of up. They don't really have a good animation for this though. Whenever a bullet or projectile hits a sky boundary, it will seem to just disappear. But not with the AR-2. If you shoot these supply boxes, you can actually prevent the guy from dropping them down to you.
Supplies! Look out below!
Getting pulled out of the airboat by a barnacle doesn't count as a proper exit, and weird things can begin happening. The wave effect will stay on forever. It's only supposed to be on when the airboat is going fast. If it was turned on, the airboat's headlight will remain on. There is only supposed to be one of these high-quality lights on at a time, but at this moment we can also turn on the flashlight and start seeing graphical bugs. There are 3 soldiers in Nova Prospekt who you have probably never killed. These soldiers will spawn when you approach this monitor and will despawn shortly after. You can make them spawn even after you've gone through this area, so it's possible to use your antlions to kill them. During the outro sequence, there's a small time where you've been teleported into a black room, but still look like you're on top of the Citadel. The collisions in this black room don't match what's actually there on the Citadel. This lets you walk through walls for a short time.
Of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you, if and when your time comes round again.
If you stand on a hunter's projectile and try to jump, it will give you a huge speed boost. The question comes up a lot, so let me just say no. Almost nothing that I show on my channel is useful for speedrunning, outside of some very contrived scenarios. Although this one could maybe be a backup strat for one of the less popular categories like single segment. If you avoid passing through this single spot in Ravenholm, you can activate the cart whenever you want. Despite the warnings, the green antlion guard in episode 2 cannot be killed ahead of time. When it reaches 250 health, it will set itself back to 500 health. If you do 250 damage in a single shot, you can kill it though. But the only weapon you can do that with is the RPG, and there is no way to get it at this point in the game. Nothing interesting happens either way. There is no game over, no one mentions that it died, and it will appear again in later areas. If you pull the lever and put the gear in with the correct timing, it can look like the gears are not working even though they are.
I descend.
If your FOV setting is high enough, you can see just a bit through walls. At the end of the episode 2 Strider battle, there's a guy who says, "Good job, Gordon."
Hey! Gordon Freeman!
Good job, Gordon.
Notice how that's Barney's voice.
Good job, Gordon.
Apparently, at one point in time, a Valve employee confirmed that this was a mistake, but it's difficult for me to imagine how this could have been a mistake, given, it's literally Barney's voice, and the file had a BA in it, which means Barney. Usually when people think about cheat codes in Half-Life 2, they think about console commands, but actually there are proper cheat codes. You can see all of these cheat codes in a file called cheatcodes.txt. Apparently these only exist in the Xbox and Xbox 360 versions of the game. I haven't confirmed this myself because I don't have one. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA gives you health. This is also known as the Konami code, and it's in many other games. Left, 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 L shoulder, right, 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 R shoulder gives you access to all of the chapters immediately. YBAX right shoulder, YXAB right shoulder fills up your current weapon that you're holding out with full ammo. Left shoulder up, right shoulder up, left shoulder up, right shoulder up gives you invincibility. Y up, Y right, Y down, Y left, Y up apparently turns AA on or off. I couldn't get this command to work myself, so whatever it is probably Xbox exclusive. The rest of the commands are all marked as developer only, which means that you would have to set the convar developer to 1 in order to use these. and that would mean getting access to the console or the command line launch options. I don't know how possible either of those things are for Xbox. Left shoulder down, right shoulder down, left shoulder down, right shoulder down just kills you immediately. Up, left shoulder up, right shoulder up gives you no clip. Down, left shoulder down, right shoulder down will cause enemies to ignore you. Left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left, right will put you through the different modes of matte wireframe. Add on one more thing to the list of cheated physics. Many of the things in this area are heavier than normal. You can tell this because they're too heavy to pick up with your hands. The common area that exists between canals 6 and 7 is not very well put together. Once you hit a certain point in this map, the NPCs in the starting area will disappear. If you go out to this place without getting the car, Noriko will still say all of her lines from beyond the void.
Dr. Freeman, you won't get anywhere on foot. Come back up and get in the car.
The crane will still function as normal.
Get that car up, right? Get the hell out of here.
The song Entanglement is quite unusual. It's the only song that loops forever, being only 8 seconds long. Plus, in the one map where it's used, it has an actual source in 3D space. The music becomes louder the closer you are to the Citadel.
Attention. First or civil service with local protection team immediately.
In the beginning of Entanglement, Eli can be found hiding on the ceiling. The Citadel's weapon-destroying device, which is really specific, will never actually destroy your Bugbait. The Bugbait will just mysteriously disappear with no explanation. Also, if you've ever picked up a grenade at any point during your playthrough, there will always be a single grenade that appears, even if you don't have any at the moment. This wreckage stuff was not made very well. You can send any citizens in your squad up to the top level of this building, where the snipers should attack them, but they won't until you go up there yourself. Once the second helicopter spawns on this map, you can go back to the mounted gun and use it to fully destroy the helicopter. The helicopter used to go very far back into the map, making this very easy to do, but in the 20th anniversary update they changed it so it doesn't go as far. If you throw a grenade, quickly enter a vehicle, and then go to a new level, you might somehow manage to throw a grenade while still in the vehicle. Typically when Valve wants to optimize something, they'll put black walls over the doorways and windows of a building in order to hide the things that are inside it. However, in this one place in Nova Prospekt, they did something rather unusual. They actually put in an entirely new wall. If you activate the trap at the White Forest Inn while Alyx isn't inside the barriers, this happens.
It's a trap! Gordon, come on, get inside!
When you reach this room and follow Freeman, Barney will disable this force field even if there are no prisoners to be freed.
Fantastic.
There won't be any prisoners here if you reach the area with a full squad. If you mess around with this door, Alyx can do some funny things.
This day in particular.
If you avoid stepping into this area, the Vortigaunt will never finish working on the airboat. This was fixed in the 20th anniversary update. I have confirmed which facts in this compilation are still present in the game. It might seem weird to include ones that are now fixed, but I think it's better than silently omitting them.
There we are.
If you stand near this wall, these soldiers will be very reluctant to shoot you.
So, this is Dr. Freeman. At last. I wish I could say this was a pleasant surprise, but it's neither a surprise nor, as you will surely agree, very pleasant. Well, I am nothing if not pragmatic.
I have no idea how this worked in the first place, but apparently it was fixed in the 20th anniversary update. More floating things have been found. When Father Grigori is holding this lever, you are still able to interact with it.
While I hold the gate.
This was fixed in the 20th anniversary update.
Go quickly.
Most people would consider this a soft lock.
Flee, brother. Onward to the mines.
Citizens can give you health kits through floors.
Here goes. Here, take this med kit.
There is at least one missing texture in Half-Life 2. Using your own explosives, you can prematurely destroy these Combine rockets. If you zoom with the suit and crossbow at the same time, you can get a weird effect on your screen. In this map, there are some boarded up doorways. One is textured normally, but the other is not. In the finale, you can stand on these metal flap thingies to delay the ending indefinitely.
Warning. Vital signs critical.
In the second map of Root Canal, there is a collapsed highway. The debris is in the direct path of the train tracks that were seen in the previous map, implying that none of those trains could have actually moved through there. In a previous episode, I showed that pickups collide with the same type of invisible walls that players do. This can also happen with the batteries dropped by scanners.
Invasion in progress in this community. Respawn. Isolation. Inquire.
The train that you jump onto in Root Canal does start moving again after a while. How else would the other trains be able to move through? Watch closely as it disappears. The merry-go-round in Eli's scrapyard has a switch under it to make it start rotating, just like the saw blades in Ravenholm. When this computer screen turns off, it doesn't turn black, it actually just disappears.
Dad, it's Alyx. Do you read?
You two,
Dad?
take Gordon.
Dad? Dad! Damn it!
Once you have the supercharged gravity gun, you can pick up the pod that you were previously riding in. Note that you have to actually go through the previous map for the pod to be there. You cannot simply load directly into Citadel 3. This pod comes with not one, but 2 soft locks. If you enter the pod, you can no longer do anything. You cannot even be hurt. If you enter the pod as it's being vaporized, it will delete you as well. Two of the captions in episode 2 are switched around.
Better now.
At the side of the Magnuson.
Sure thing. Thanks for the help.
The SMG and pistol sound weird in this hallway.
I feel compelled for saving my rocket. So, that's enough.
You can draw these bridges back up once they're down. This can cause a variety of weird things.
Major frag.
Let's go!
There is a fire at the end of this map. If you go to the next map and then come back, the fire will now be larger. The Striders in the episode 2 Strider battle aren't actually shooting their cannon at anything specific. In the two places where you get on pods, you can jump into the place that the pods come from. It's not a very remarkable place. If you position yourself just right in this water, you can see the underwater fog while not being underwater. This is specific to this body of water, it doesn't happen with any others. If you move away from this valve after using it once, you can use it again. The only effect of using it again will be the sound of moving water. If you stand inside this electrified container, these headcrabs will jump straight to their death. On this map, if you go to the previous level and then back again, the helicopter will shoot at you. If you proceed through the level, the helicopter will go back to its normal path and eventually disappear. AR2 energy balls do nothing to barnacles. This was fixed in the episodes, and there is only one map where you can observe this. There are male and female versions of most citizen voice lines.
We'll come with you.
We'll come with you.
The game is able to automatically determine which version of the line it should play because it actually does know the gender of citizens. The only place I know of where there's a problem with this is in episode 1. The player can try to direct these citizens to go to a place as they would be able to in Follow Freeman and Anti-Citizen 1. The citizens will reject the order though, saying one of two lines, and one of these lines does not have a female version.
Alright, I'm moving, jeez. Alright, I'm moving, jeez.
Vehicles can cause the game's camera to turn to face forward even if the game is paused, as long as the rotation began before pausing the game. When certain things happen, such as an important NPC dying, there will be a text message that appears. The ones in Half-Life 2 are written from the perspective of G-Man and match ones in Half-Life 1. In Episode 2, these messages are clearly written from the perspective of a Vortigaunt. In Episode 1, however, the only fail message is a very simple "Alyx died." In the 20th anniversary update, this was also changed to be written from the perspective of a Vortigaunt. This, along with the fact that Episode 1 is the only game to use title case instead of all caps in chapter titles, seems like it may be suggesting something about Gordon in Episode 1. NPCs grabbed by barnacles aren't actually dead yet, they can still be interacted with in some ways. Compare this to using an energy ball on an actually dead body. You can still attack them in any way, including with the gravity gun. The outside of the Overwatch Nexus's dome is not modeled on the inside map. You can tell this by simply looking from either of the two bridges on that map. Also now fixed in the 20th anniversary update, dropped Bugbait will stick onto whatever surface it hits. The only way to see this is to die while standing over a sloped surface and holding the Bugbait. On this map, if you try to leave the building before killing both of the Striders, they will use their cannon attack to kill you instantly. While it is risky, you can use this to distract the Striders and potentially land free hits on them. If the player and Alyx can both get past these soldiers without killing them all, the remaining soldiers just won't care. They refuse to go up the stairs. Barnacles will die in a single hit from the crowbar. This isn't difficult to find out, but with how many people I've seen not put this information to use, it clearly must not be common knowledge. On this map, if you stand in just the right spot, you can make antlions spawn stuck inside you, which has weird results. You can stand on top of this slope. This bug exists in all Source games, and it's probably why you don't see this kind of slope very often. There are some other places like this in the Citadel, but they're all as equally interesting. Here is a fun skip that you can do. On easy, it's quite survivable, but on hard, you'll have to be really careful. Things eaten by barnacles are shoved into the space above them. One of these wooden fence thingies is embedded deep within this rock wall. In the update, they did not fix this, but you can see more of it. I don't know what to make of that. This one piece of grating allows some projectiles to pass through it. In the last episode, I said that there was only one fail message in episode 1. I was wrong. I felt that this looked different enough in the update to warrant showing it again. If you exit and re-enter a certain boundary within this area, you can hear the HEV suit's warning message as many times as you want.
Warning, hazardous radiation levels detected.
On this map, there is some geometry that was clearly deleted on accident. Another thing fixed in the update. You're really killing me here, Valve. These shards of glass are visible before the glass actually breaks. If you grab this Combine Energy Ball and throw it at this monitor, it will break off. Once I got it to land just so that instead of walking over or around it, Alyx teleported around it. If you push this monitor all the way into the train car, it will disappear once the door closes, which is one of the most obvious signs that you've been teleported into a completely different train. If you stand on something while falling, you can avoid taking fall damage. NPCs can be taken to unusual areas if the player gives them a ramp to walk on.
Let me get out of your way.
If you are on a ladder while also standing on something, when you jump, you will receive the combined force of both jumping off the ladder and jumping off the ground. The direction you move in is influenced by where you are looking. I originally cut this fact because I didn't think it was very good, but I did manage to make use of it once in a video, so I'm bringing it back. Shooting things can cause them to move closer to you instead of farther away. Things that a barnacle has begun eating will be able to pass through everything, including the ground. Alyx can be vaporized by this ball holder thingy if she is pushed into it. The elevator will never begin moving, and the door at the bottom will never close because Alyx has not entered the room. Citizens almost never fire their RPGs in Half-Life 2. The RPG requires that NPCs using it check the area in front of them to make sure that the blast would not hit the user. The two checks draw a line between the NPC and a point 120 units in front of the NPC. Yes, there are two of them and they are both set up incorrectly. The problem with the checks is that they weren't set up so that the line would pass through the firing NPC. In short, NPCs don't fire rockets because they think they'll hit themselves. I fixed this in Half-Life 2 Chaos, and the only major difference I've seen so far is on City 1712. The map became noticeably easier, especially on hard. Their help leads to you having to spend much less time camping around this crate. It also makes it more likely for you to actually be able to take any citizens over to the next map. I think this actually is the way that this level was intended to be balanced. Some people have said that this was fixed in the 20th anniversary update. It was not. It seems like they inadvertently half-fixed it because the NPCs are a little more aggressive with their rockets, but they did not actually fix it. The traces that I mentioned are still incorrect. Despite the two incorrect checks, there are some places where NPCs do actually fire their rockets. I have no idea why. If you skip a very small amount of this level, you can have two snipers active at once. The sniper on the right is only used when you're in the next building. Having them both on at once makes the room a lot easier. This room in Freeman Pontifex has windows, but it is in fact embedded in the earth. This kind of thing happens in video games from time to time, and on its own it's not really notable, but this one's kind of funny because they actually did keep a facade of the building. In the part of episode 2 where Alyx uses a sniper rifle, you can kill Alyx. It's just a repurposed sniper NPC. There are in fact two snipers. If something comes between a barnacle and the thing it's grabbing, the barnacle will drop it and possibly grab that other thing. You can therefore save yourself by using a hand grenade or AR2 energy ball. When a Magnuson device breaks, the metal pieces that come out of it are the same ones that come from destroyed manhacks.
That was a close call. Thanks for your help.
In this map, there are windows that you're supposed to be able to see through, but cannot. This one can only be seen in a decompiled VMF. In the 20th anniversary update, some skyboxes were changed and proper care was not taken to ensure that the floors of them don't overlap into the map, so now some maps have weird shadows coming from their skyboxes. If you take a TV into a different map, the functional part of it will no longer work. The TV now has no special properties. The TV will not regain any functionality when brought back to its original map, but the functional part of the TV still exists, and if you shoot where the TV was when it first left the original map, it will still break. If you manipulate it correctly, you can even get stuck inside it. In Root Canal, the brick surrounding this vent can be broken. This vent is similar, though it can only be broken in some older versions of the game.